Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. My name is Jeff Martin here with Agent Marketing Toolset, and today I want to show you how to build a targeted audience on Twitter that generates leads. There's a lot of people out there that don't like Twitter, and rightfully so, because there's a lot of riffraff out there on Twitter. And by riffraff, I mean there's a lot of people out there posting nonsense and just goofing off on Twitter. However, that doesn't mean there's not a place for realtors to find good leads, to find a targeted audience of homeowners in their targeted neighborhoods. And with this method that I'm about to show you today, not only is it free, but I'm going to show you how to get really targeted on the homeowners and the people active in the communities where you sell real estate. Now, one caveat that I should mention is that this method here relies upon knowledge of local events, local activities, local schools, local associations, all this local stuff. And since people watching this video could be literally anywhere in the world, I can't show you exactly how to do it for each individual person. So instead, I want to sort of show you the mindset that I go through when I'm building an audience that will be able to, if you use the mindset, you'll be able to duplicate this and use it in your individual neighborhoods. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in to a few slides, and then I'll show you a live video of the back end of Twitter and how I go about doing all this. Okay, before we get started, there's a few things you need to know about Twitter. First, a lot of people don't know how to get followers. It's as simple as following someone and they'll follow you back. So if you press the follow button on someone, they'll get sent an email, they'll be notified somehow, and then more than likely they'll follow you back. Next, if you retweet someone, you'll definitely be on their radar, and even possibly they'll go through your page and retweet something that they like that you have tweeted. Third one, everything that people post on Twitter is searchable. Literally, you could find if someone says they're moving to a town or city, you can search for moving to a city and find the people that are doing that. Now that's more of a needle in a haystack type thing. We're not going to focus on that, but I just want you to let that be known that everything people post on Twitter is searchable. And last bullet point I have there, it's a great informal way of building relationships. You're not cold calling people. You're introducing yourself to a stranger in an informal way that sort of breaks the ice. They start to recognize you as you post things. They see you on their feed, and it starts to build a slow relationship. Now, the first step in this process is to create a list of target audience interests. This would include neighborhood associations, chamber of commerces, local schools, districts, local businesses, local activities, and other unique things about your neighborhood. What you want to do is you think local, and not only just local, but think about where, because there's a lot of local stuff that people from all over the city or town will be following. You want to think super local, the things that only people that live in that neighborhood would follow that Twitter page. Here's an example of a list that I did. So I live here in Houston, specifically Houston Heights, and there's a lot of local activities such as Lights in the Heights, Heights Home Tours, Heights Fun Run, White Linen Night, First Saturday Arts Market. These are all very specific to Houston Heights. And what I would do is search for these on Twitter to see if they have Twitter pages, and the people that follow these sorts of activities are probably people that live in the Heights. Now some of these are a little less, well, I should say some of these are a little more broad, like Lights in the Heights. People come from all over the city to see Lights in the Heights. So that's a little less targeted. There's going to be a lot of people that don't live in the Heights that follow that. So you want to start with the more local, little known local activities, and then after you start building your list, you may branch off into the broader ones. The next one I have here is the neighborhood associations. This is a really big one. The Houston Heights is actually comprised of various different neighborhoods. Some of these, like Oak Forest, are neighboring neighborhoods. So all of these associations and communities, you want to follow them and eventually start following their followers. The last thing I have down here is local businesses. This is 19th Street Shopping, Heights Theater, Heights Art Gallery, Silver Street Galleries. These are all local businesses that the people that follow them more than likely live in the Heights, because only people that live here know about these types of things. And I went ahead and I circled neighborhood associations, mainly because that's where your target audience is going to be. There's all these other activities and local businesses. There could be people following them from all over the city, but neighborhood associations are good for a few reasons. I'm going to go into that on this slide here. So, why neighborhood associations? First of all, who would follow a neighborhood association? People who live in the neighborhood, they're homeowners in the neighborhood, they're responsible adults, and they're active in the community. And most importantly, going back to what I said earlier, is it gets rid of all the riffraff. There's no riffraff posting nonsense on neighborhood associations. Neighborhood associations are for responsible adults, homeowners, those type of people that are, as I have in the last bullet point, they're active in the community. Now, let's go ahead and do an example. Okay, so here we are on Twitter. Basically what I did right now was just search for Houston Heights in this little search bar here. And as you can see, all these little suggestions right here, Houston Heights News, Houston Heights SBB, the Be Life Heights, all these things are really good people to follow. So I would start off by following all of these people and then follow this Houston Heights. And as you start getting into it, you go to this page and you see who they're following. And more than likely, they're going to be following a lot of businesses and other organizations that are unique to the Heights. So, for example, here's a Harvard Elementary. This is a local restaurant. I would follow pretty much all of these businesses here. And I'm going to go back a page and just look around. Go back one more. And I'm just going to sort of browse around. This is news Twitter pages are really good to follow. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to see who they're following. And all of these, the Woodlands News, Tomball News, that's a little bit outside the Heights. I probably wouldn't follow them. But I keep looking around for downtown Houston, definitely follow them. I'd start following all of these neighborhood related places. And the more local you can find, the better. So you might search Heights blogger. Let's just do an example here of a Heights blogger. And there is a Heights blogger here who is following 596 people. So I definitely follow this Heights blogger here. And let's see who he's following. I would think that he's following a lot of Heights businesses. Looks like he's following a lot of people. Although there are some businesses in here. I see that rice box again. So as you go through, you just start looking for the various things that I wrote down earlier. That would be the associations, the events, the news, the local businesses. Try to find all those people on Twitter and start following them. So I have a few. I mentioned the associations are really good because they have the best people that are following them. You know, it's the people that follow associations or communities for neighborhoods are the more responsible people who own houses, who have families, and more likely to sell a house or to buy a house. So I'm going to go ahead and click on what I did here is click on who they're following, and that'll give me a good idea of various other businesses that I can follow. After you've followed a lot of businesses, I want to emphasize this. You should start, if you're just starting out on Twitter, you should follow all the local businesses and associations and stuff before you start following individual people. Reason being is you don't want to start following people and they check out your page and you're not following anybody in their neighborhood. You have nothing to do. It doesn't look like you're very active in that neighborhood. You want to start following a lot of businesses, a lot of communities in those neighborhoods, retweet some of their stuff, get some action going on your page before you start following the individual users. Now, this here has 328 followers, this Spring Branch district here. And as I go through, more than likely, most of these people are going to be homeowners, people that live in the neighborhood. as you can see, there is a little bit of riffraff on here. This person's probably, I probably wouldn't follow them, but most of these people here are probably your target audience that live in Spring Branch. Let's scroll over to this one over here. This is Sunset Heights. They have 189 followers. First one's more riffraff, but it looks like as I scroll down here, it looks like there's a lot of, I should say, normal adult looking people that probably live in the neighborhood. And what you want to do is you want to start following them so that when, as I said before, as you follow them, they're more than likely going to follow you back. And as you tweet things, you'll be on their feed. They'll start seeing you over and over the more you tweet. I'm going to go ahead and scroll over. I found this Heights Chamber of Commerce. They have 49 followers. Just scroll through here. Looks like these are some good end users in here. Ginger Harris over here. There's Anthony. There's Carter. There's a lot of end users that you want to start following here to start building your audience. The last one I have over here is Woodland Heights. There's a lot of good people in here that I would start following as well. And that just sort of that'll give you a good starting point. You want to start with the associations first, because those are the most mature adults, homeowners that are following associations. And then you start to branch off to other activities and stuff. And be careful, because there's a lot of, when you start following people, they're going to start filling up your page. So if you start following the quote unquote riffraff that I posted before, they could blow up your feed a little bit, and you won't be able to see what's going on in the community if somebody's tweeting all the time. If somebody's tweeting all the time just nonsense, you want to unfollow them, and you want to just after a while you'll want to go through and start unfollowing the people that you probably shouldn't have followed in the first place. But there's no harm in following people at all. Like, you can follow anybody, and there's not going to be any detriment. You can follow other realtors, you can follow, it doesn't matter. But you do want to be careful later on if they start tweeting, as you start looking at your feed and you can't find the good stuff that's happening in the neighborhood. You can't retweet the tweets that you find that are good, because everybody's blowing up your page. You want to start getting rid of all those people. And that's essentially, that's the gist of it. So basically what I did was just start searching for various things in the Heights. But school districts are really good. Like I said before, local businesses. And the smaller the business, like a new business that just opened that nobody knows about except for the people that live in that neighborhood, because they drive by it and they see it and they follow them on Twitter. So if there's a new business that opens up, the people that follow them are probably more local, and as the business gets bigger, there's probably going to be more people following it from all over the city. So that's just a few ideas, and what that does is it creates a good target audience for you to, when you tweet something, it'll show up on all of their feeds, rather than you start following people from all over the city. It's less local. It's less likely for you to find that the people that are actually living, and not only just living in that neighborhood, but that are responsible homeowners that would more than likely will need to use your services to either sell their house or buy another house. Okay, wrapping up here, I just wanted to summarize everything that we did. Essentially, what you need to do is make a list of everything local that's associated with the neighborhoods where you sell real estate in, especially the associations. As I said before, the associations are the best, because people who follow the neighborhood associations or the neighborhood communities are the more responsible homeowner types. That's your target audience. Find them on Twitter, follow them. More than likely, they'll follow you back. Retweet their good tweets. But when I say retweet their good tweets, I mean both. The businesses, news stations are perfect to retweet. You can even retweet the individual profiles. If you retweet somebody who's talking about something going on in the Heights, you'll definitely hit their radar, and they'll remember you. They'll probably even visit your page and see what you're all about. And when it comes time, if they know somebody selling a house, or if they want to sell a house or buy a house, they'll think of you. And that's really what you want to do. Want to become the authority in the neighborhood and just be in front of these people all the time. And I put the last step there is to follow their followers. I've mentioned this before, but you want to follow the people that are following the associations and the most qualified local events. As you go through, you can kind of tell who's a responsible, possibly homeowner versus somebody who has a bunch of garbage picks up there. And it shouldn't take that long. As you go through and just start following, maybe you do 25, 50 people a day, and you do that 1 or 2, 3 times a week. Pretty soon you're going to have hundreds and thousands of qualified followers, qualified people that live in the neighborhood, those homeowners, those people that are your target audience that are going to be buying and selling houses inside of your neighborhood. And you're going to become the sort of the authority, the person that you're always in front of them. So when they think of a realtor, they think of you. And what's good about this is that it's all free. You don't have to pay for it. Unlike other social media where you have to pay to get people to like your page, or you have to pay to get stuff in front of them. This is all just free. As you just scroll through, you follow the steps that I outlined in this video, and you'll get them all for free. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please visit my website at agentmarketingtoolset.com. I've got this video, I've got some Facebook videos, a bunch of Facebook advertising videos, got email marketing, lead capturing, SEO, keyword research, I got blogging tips. Everything on my website is catered to real estate agents. And go there, check it out, see what you think. And also, if you like the video, you can write a little comment below. You can subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you guys sticking to the end of this video, and I hope to see you in a future video. Thank you.